Okay, hello everybody and welcome to another Stella Sora video. In this video, we'll be going over our latest 5-star Aqua support, Willow. I believe she's the first unit where we get the summer version before the actual character version, because we got Suntide Willow before we actually got Willow. But hey, we're not here for that. So, most of you are probably wondering, is Willow good? I'll start off by saying she is way better than Teresa. So just by that, she is already a good unit that will be an upgrade to your Aqua team and that will help Chitose actually perform better. What I did not expect from her was that she will actually have a build that is a Mark support. Probably for another Vanguard that's coming in the future, but as of right now, the build that we will be focused on is not the Mark support build that we see here as build 1, but we will be going over the second build for the most part, the build 2, which is what is really useful for her in supporting all the Aqua teams. We will be going over 3 Aqua teams, right? And then we will also go over a main build team where she is the main and we're using Donna and Freesia as the support sub DPSs. Looking at her build 2, which is the build 1 by the way, looking at her build 2, she has potential to be a support for even off element teams. So maybe a Ventus team can work out here with the Nazuka off field, as she does support damage for all types of elements. For an example, increasing the damage taken of all elements, which is quite nice to have. So she has potential for that. But as of right now, we will only be focusing on the Aqua teams. And then for the full build, we will go over every type of team that she might actually work with. So let's dive right into it. Starting things off, we will start things off with the Chitose main team. Now this is the Chitose auto attack team, the AA team, and it is basically a Chitose hyper carry team. But I will let you know what you need in order to ensure that Chitose and Donna sometimes share DPS in terms of a dual hyper carry. It's basically just 2 potentials that you're going to need to tweak in order to ensure that Donna actually also helps with the damage. Now I try to reduce the potentials as much as I can, which is 81. You can drop it further by dropping a bit of adamant scales or dropping walls of ripples, as their levels is level 3 and level 1 to show that they're not as important, but they're nice to have, and the ones you mainly want are at level 6. So you already know the Chitose build by now. You want Serpent's Glide, you want Mirror Blade, Aqua's Phantasm, Trouble and Fall, Dance of Elegance, and Azure's Embrace. Adamant Scales and Walls of Ripples, you can get them if you can, because sometimes you get super lucky and you get a lot of potentials, but they're not the most important ones, but they're nice to have as well. Now for the main reason you're here. You're here for Suntide Willow. So for Suntide Willow, as I had mentioned, we will be using mainly build 2, which is Rhythm Surge and Thunderous Surf. Now those are the 2 you really want, and you also want Prismatic Bubbles, basically all the build 1, right? You want Engulfing Tide, Receding Echoes, which is basically buffing the crit damage, and then you want the crit rate buffs that you get, and then you're also going to want Balmy Self, which is a Death Pen. Now the only other unit we know who has the Death Pen increase would be it's an Umbra unit. Her name escapes me right now, but yes, this is the second time that we're seeing the Death Pen coming around, and you do want 1 or 2 into the Smarine Justice. When Beach Warning deals damage, it increases the target's Aqua damage. You could get this more. I put it here as level 1 to show that it's not core to the build, but if you can get it, getting more of it actually helps. So you want at least 1 or 3 points into it, but we all know how potential RNG is. You might not get what you want, so it is what it is. Now for Donna in this build is a support that's helping damage, right? So the main ones you want are the ones that are at level 6, and you can really stop there. You can go for the Unleashed Arrow, the Arrow Fall, and then go for Arrow Pursuit, Frostbitten Arrow, and Water Ripple, and just stop there. At that point, you should have around 20 potentials for Donna, which is much more achievable than the 24 you want here, which will drop the total number of potentials to 70 something. Because right now we're at 81, so it'll drop it to 77, yes, which is a achievable number of potentials to have. But if you want your Donna to actually be dealing some damage, you might want to get maxed Aquatic Assault and the Chilling Onslaught. Those two go hand in hand, so if you're getting one, might as well get the other. At least 1 point into Chilling Onslaught and then get Aquatic Assault to level 6. At that point, Donna and Chitose will be working in a sort of sub DPS, dual DPS role, with Suntide Willow supporting them. So for the hyper carry, just go Arrow Pursuit, Frostbitten Arrow, and Water Ripple. But for the dual DPS, get Aquatic Assault to level 6 and get the Chilling Onslaught to the level 1. And that is the Chitose auto attack build with the Suntide Willow. The code for this will be in the description. Next build we want to focus on is the Chitose skill build. Now I wanna say that Chitose skill build is good, as well as after the buffs, the skill build has started to perform quite well as well. So for the Chitose skill build, it's basically mostly main build 2, and it'll be main build 2 as well as Azure's Embrace. So you're gonna go Flowing Circle, Serpent Tide, Returning Tide, obviously Cascade of Ruin and Against the Flow, and then you get the Azure's Embrace. Now again, for Adamant Scales and Waltz of Ripples, they're quite nice to have. They deal good damage, especially the Adamant Scales. Nice to have, really powerful with her. And Waltz of Ripples whenever you dodge, right, increases the attack. Nice to have. If you can get them as high as you can, but they're not the most priority ones. Adamant Scales is nice, it's a good priority, increases the damage by quite a lot, but the core ones you want will be your Flowing Circle, Serpent Tide, Azure's Embrace. Those three, Flowing Circle, Serpent Tide, and Azure's Embrace. Returning Tide is a bit of a hit or miss for most people, but it is good as it increases your skill damage, and this is the skill damage build, so you're gonna want that as well. So after that, with Willow, her build will not change. She will still need the Rhythm Surge, the Thunderous Surf, Prismatic Bubbles, Engulfing Tide, Receding Echoes, and the Balmy Surf. Again with the Marine Justice as much as you can, but it isn't the highest priority, but 1 point into it or 3 points into it will go a long way, because we all know how Aqua damage taken, how powerful Aqua damage taken really is. For the Donna, same story. Unleashed Arrow, Arrow Fall, Arrow Pursuit, Frostbitten, and Water Ripples are your core, and then Chilling Onslaught and Aquatic Assault if you want to go dual DPS, where Donna actually contributes a significant portion of the DPS. Then you're gonna want the Aquatic Assault and you're gonna want the Chilling Onslaught. Now that is it for the Chitose skill build. Now, if you do not have the Donna, I have not forgotten about you. There are people who might have skipped the Donna. This is the Chitose auto attack build with the Freesia. Now, this holds the same weight as basically the other builds in terms of what you want, the number of potentials you want. As you can see, it's still got the same 81. You can drop it to the 77 as I had mentioned earlier, but what you want, Serpentide, Mirror Blade, Aqua's Phantasm. As Freesia is an auto attack damage buffer, you want to run the auto attack build on the Chitose as well, because Freesia really helps with that. So that's sort of something that you want. But yes, you want Serpent's Glide, you want Mirror's Blade, you want Aqua's Phantasm, you want Tremble and Fall, you want Dance of Elegance, and then you're also going to want the Azure's Embrace. So those are the ones you want from the Chitose. Now, as I had mentioned, the Willow will not change. Willow will stay the same really. Willow does not change a lot, right? Willow does not change a lot due to her being this is her best build, right? This is the best build that we are looking for. This is the best build to use build 2. I haven't tested the Mark build in as much detail, but I've seen that this one does perform quite well. Maybe the Mark damage also performs similar to this one, but that's for the second build, right? That's for the main build. For right now, with the day 1 build, this is the one you'll be using and you'll be performing quite well. Now, there is a caveat with the Freesia as well. Remember what I had said with the Donna, if you want, if you want a dual DPS, you will go for some, but if you don't want a dual DPS and you're just looking for a support build for the Freesia, what you really want is going to be the Winter's Grip. You're going to want the Winter's Grip. You're going to want Temporal Revival. And there is one I am missing. It's Guardian's Heart. Where is Guardian's Heart? Apologies for that. You're gonna want Guardian's Heart as well. Those are the 3 you're gonna be looking for the Chitose main carry. But I'll repeat them again since I went and opened another. You want Winter's Grip, you want Guardian Heart, and then you want Temporal Revival. But if you want the the Freesia to deal some damage, you're gonna want Ice Vortex as well. That's the one you wanna add, as you remember what it does. It gives her the crit damage and then it stacks. But for this build, I shall put it at 1, because the main reason we want that one is because it's for the damage. Same goes for Blessing of Faith. You want it because you want to extend the duration of Berserk and all that. You can remove these 2 from your build, and Penetrating Chill actually, if you're just looking for a supportive Freesia. But if you want a Freesia who also deals damage with a supportive DPS, then you're gonna have to sort of include those 3 as well. But then that's a much more difficult build to get. I would advise removing these 3 and just going for a support Freesia at first, and then as time goes, as you are looking for a more perfect build or a more damage dealing build, then you can go and include your Ice Vortex at level 6, your Blessing of Faith, and a bit of Penetrating Chill. Now that we're done at that, perhaps you do not have the Chitose. If you do not have the Chitose, there is always the main Suntide Willow build, as we've come to find out that supports actually perform quite well in the main slot. And as I had mentioned, that Suntide Willow also even has a main support build that supports other elements, so she will work in main builds for other elements. But for that, I will include it in my main build guide video. So for the main build, we will be using main build 1 for the most part, which is basically Bubble Fury, Rippling Radiance, and Clustered Foam. And then we'll also use Enduring Blade for her. Now those are the ones you're looking for. That's the main thing you're looking for. And then you're also going to want Marine Justice, which is increases the aqua damage taken, and at this time you want it as much as you can. Then you can get Tidal Warning as much as you can. Putting it at level 1 shows that you want at least 1 to 3 of it, but then you can get as many as you want or can, depending on your luck. Now for the Freesia. Now the Freesia here, this is the build I was talking about, where she is a damage dealer. She's here for damage. So you want to get that Ice Vortex, you want to get at least 1 point into Blessing of Faith, you want that Penetrating Chill as much as you can, you want that Winter's Grip, you want that Guardian's Heart. This is the Freesia damage dealer build. If you don't want her to be dealing damage, or you want to focus mainly on the Donna, you remove the Ice Vortex, you remove the Blessing of Faith, you remove the Winter's Grip, and then you stick with, you remove the Penetrating Chill, and then you stick with Winter's Grip and the Guardian's Heart. Now for the Donna is also here for damage. So as I had mentioned before, for the Donna damage, you're going to want your Aquatic Assault at level 6, and you're going to want your Chilling Assault at level 1. Arrow's Pursuit, Frostbitten Arrow, and Water Ripple are the core ones for support, but then these 2 also help her in dealing the damage. And that is the build. All 4 cold builds for this one will be in the description. Now for the question you all are interested in, is she worth it? I believe she is quite worth it, and I believe she is quite strong. Not only does she support Aqua to bring it into a level that can compete with the other teams, but it also supports other teams. So Suntide Willow is I'd say one of the only universal supports we have besides Nazuna, which makes sense because Nazuna is able to support other teams, so it makes sense that Nazuna, as a limited support as well, is also able to support off-elements teams. So this actually increases her value by quite a lot. I would not skip this unit if I were you, purely based on her being so useful, not only for Aqua, but for other teams as well. So yeah, if you were wondering, should I pull, is she strong, all that stuff, I actually advise pulling. She's also an exclusive unit, not just a limited unit, so we might not even get a rerun of her. So that's also something that you should consider before you actually decide on whether, am I pulling this unit or am I not? I advise pulling. She is quite strong. Look forward to the full build guide video. And yeah, that is it for this video. For more content like this, leave a like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.